The ballroom smelled like money and flowers, fresh arrangements masking old intentions. I stood near the back, a half step behind her, exactly where she preferred me when cameras were around. My phone vibrated once, then again, a message from her chief of staff. "Smile, big donors watching." She took the stage in a white dress that cost more than most people's cars. Applause rose on cue. She didn't look at me when she spoke my name. She gestured, casual, dismissive. "This journey," she said, voice warm, rehearsed, "wouldn't have been possible without support from friends and my trial husband." The word landed late. Trial. A ripple of laughter, polite, confused. My pulse slowed. That always happened when something broke inside me. The world sharpened, sounds separated, faces became data points. She smiled wider, eyes scanning the room. Not once did they find mine. I understood then, this wasn't a slip, it was a test run, a rehearsal for my erasure. I looked down at my watch. The seconds moved forward, obedient, unlike her. Somewhere in the room, a camera flash popped. Somewhere else, a door closed softly. I stayed still. I always stayed still at the beginning. We had met 5 years earlier, when ambition still wore honesty like a costume. She was brilliant in public and restless in private. I was capital and patience. We called it partnership. Marriage came later, efficient, quiet, beneficial. She liked to say we were equals, but over time, language changed. Temporary, strategic, until things stabilize. Her phone never left her hand. Password changed twice in 1 month. She started attending events without me, then explaining why it was better optics that way. I told myself this was normal. Growth pains, power rearranging furniture. At night, she slept facing away from me. In the morning, she woke before dawn, already dressed, already gone. The first time I heard the phrase "trial husband" again was in an email she forgot to delete, not sent to me, sent about me. "He's safe, placeholder, buys time." I read it without blinking. Shock is loud for some people. For me, it's quiet. It's the moment you realize the building is burning, but the fire alarm hasn't gone off yet. I closed the laptop, kissed her cheek when she came home, asked about her day. She talked. I listened. I always listened. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is for people who want answers. I wanted confirmation. Phone records first. A separate line, unregistered, used only on weekends. Then calendars, private entries hidden behind generic titles, briefing, donor check-in. I attended events she thought I'd skip, watched her body language shift when a certain man entered the room. Younger, confident, no ring. I hired no one, left no trail. I did the work myself. Late nights, bank statements, shell accounts quietly opened under a non-profit I'd funded, money moving in circles, always ending near him. I tested her. "I'm thinking of pulling my investment," I said one morning, casual, pouring coffee. She froze, just for a fraction of a second, then recovered. "Why would you do that?" "Too fast, too sharp." I smiled, just exploring options. That night, she didn't sleep, neither did I. Every discovery tightened something in my chest. Not anger, focus, like aligning crosshairs. I wasn't losing my wife. I was watching an acquisition turn hostile. The final piece arrived on a Thursday, a forwarded email chain. Careless, arrogant, plans for an announcement, a transition. Language consultants debating how to frame the narrative. I was referred to as the early supporter, past tense. I printed the pages, neatly, stapled them. That evening I set them on the table between us. She knew before she read. "What's this?" she asked, voice thin. "Your future," I said, "and my absence from it." She flipped through the pages, color draining. When she finished, she laughed, high, defensive. "You went through my things?" I tilted my head. "You went through my money." Silence stretched. She reached for me, stopped halfway. "I was going to tell you." I nodded. "After the announcement?" Her eyes filled. Mine didn't. I had already mourned her, quietly, thoroughly. The cancellation was simple. One call, one signature withdrawn. $4.3 million doesn't scream when it disappears, it suffocates slowly. The next morning, her team panicked. Sponsors paused. The board demanded explanations. The man she'd replaced me with stopped answering his phone. She found me in my office, standing by the window. "You're destroying everything," she said. "This was bigger than us." I turned, calm. "No," I said, "you made it smaller than me." She cried then, real tears, regret wrapped in fear. "I called you a trial husband," she whispered. "I didn't mean—" "I know," I said. "You meant temporary." I handed her an envelope. Divorce papers, already filed, already funded. She collapsed into the chair. I didn't watch. Weeks passed. Headlines shifted. Her name faded. Mine was never mentioned. I moved out without ceremony, left the house intact, took nothing sentimental, only what was mine. Sometimes, late at night, I replay the moment on that stage, the word she chose, the laugh that followed. It doesn't hurt anymore. It instructs. I learned that betrayal doesn't always arrive with violence. Sometimes it wears a smile and tests how much you'll tolerate. I tolerated enough. She called me a trial husband. I proved her wrong by being the final one.